over 7 decades, the Kashmir conflict has defined the rivalry between India and Pakistan, with countless lives lost, borders redrawn in blood, and no resolution in sight. We are left with one question: is peace even possible? Today, we'll explore the history, the politics, and the people caught in the crossfire, and whether this conflict will ever end. The Kashmir conflict isn't just about a border dispute. It's a legacy of partition, religious tensions, and geopolitical ambitions. On one hand, India sees Kashmir as an integral part of its sovereignty. Pakistan views it as the unfinished business of partition. Caught in the middle are the people of Kashmir, who have suffered decades of violence, political uncertainty, and human rights violations. In this video, we'll break down how this conflict started, the challenges to peace, and what the future might hold. Now, before we dive in, let me know in the comments, what do you think is the biggest obstacle to peace in Kashmir? Politics, religion, or mistrust? Let's start off with the origins of conflict, being our chapter 1. To understand the conflict, we need to go back to 1947, the partition of British India. Kashmir, a princely state, found itself at the center of a territorial tug of war. Its ruler, Maharaja Hari Singh, initially wanted to stay neutral, but tribal invasions from Pakistan forced his hand. He signed the Instrument of Accession, making Kashmir part of India, at least on paper. This sparked the First Indo-Pak War, ending with a ceasefire brokered by the UN in 1949. The ceasefire line became the line of control, splitting Kashmir into Indian administered and Pakistan administered regions. But this was only the beginning. Kashmir was 77% Muslim at the time of partition, making its accession to India highly contentious. The United Nations resolution called for a plebiscite to determine Kashmir's future, a vote that never happened. And here's the kicker: even after 3 wars and countless skirmishes, the core issue remains unresolved. Each side has its narrative, and neither one is willing to budge. Did you know that Kashmir is one of the most militarized zones in the world, with over 500,000 troops stationed there? Stick around to find out how this impacts everyday life in the region. Why is peace so difficult? The answer lies in a mix of politics, religion, region, and mistrust. First, let's talk about politics. For India, Kashmir is a matter of sovereignty and national pride. For Pakistan, it's about self-determination for the region's Muslim majority. Neither side is willing to compromise because it would mean losing face domestically and internationally. Now, what are the key challenges? The first is terrorism and militancy. Groups like Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba operate in the region, complicating peace talks. India's Article 370 move. In 2019, India revoked Kashmir's special status, a move celebrated by some but condemned by others as a violation of the region's autonomy. And number 3, international involvement. While countries like China, the US, the UN have weighed in, their involvement often fuels further distrust between India and Pakistan. And then there is a human cost. For ordinary Kashmiris, peace talks and ceasefires mean little when their daily lives are marked by curfews, raids, and uncertainty. Now, did you know that over 40,000 people have died as a direct result of the Kashmir conflict since 1990? Keep watching to understand what's at stake and whether a solution is even possible. So, chapter 3 is peace. Is peace possible? The short answer is, it's complicated. Any solution would require immense political will, mutual trust, and a focus on the people of Kashmir, not just the territorial dispute. One potential path forward could involve a demilitarized Kashmir, with both sides agreeing to grant more autonomy to the region. Another idea, bilateral trade agreements that build trust and reduce dependency on conflict-driven narratives. But here's the problem: mistrust runs deep. Both sides accuse each other of sabotaging peace efforts, and as long as that persists, progress will be slow. Now, the Simla Agreement in 1972 emphasized bilateral negotiations, but talks often break down due to external factors like terrorism. Grassroots movements in Kashmir have called for peace, but their voices are often overshadowed by larger geopolitical agendas. The truth is, peace in Kashmir will require more than just treaties and summits. It will need a shift in how both nations view the region and each other. Now, if you were leading peace negotiations between India and Pakistan, what would your first step be? Share your ideas in the comments. Who knows, you might inspire a real solution. Now, before we conclude, the Kashmir conflict isn't just about borders. It's about identity, history, and the people who live in its shadow. Peace may feel like a distant dream, but it's a dream worth fighting for. What do you think? Is there hope for peace, or is this conflict destined to continue? Let me know your thoughts, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, hit the subscribe button for more unfiltered takes on world's most complex issue. Thank you and have a good one.